part of the build-up of what's happening, and this very important section. I find it really interesting, especially about the relationship between guru and disciple, and also with the priest and amongst different sections.
You know,
all these relationships are very kind of symptomatic of what we're experiencing, what we're going through. So to take note of that and to see what lessons I can apply in my own life, in my relationships with all the people that I'm dealing with, I find it very helpful.
Thank you, Navina. Maharaj had his hand up.
Well, mine's kind of in a similar vein to yours, but I've been really appreciating having done this with Vaisesika Prabhu every year for the past, 16 years. This is 17 today, this time. How it's maturing, how the level of the discussions
that
are
means
maturing.
We've been sitting here for a year and a half.
Yeah. Yeah.
We sat right here for a year and a half.
That's right. So, and because of that, and also because it's been kind of like a boiling of the milk that Prabhupada used to talk about before he left, especially late 76 and 77. He used to talk about this a lot. Okay, now we have temples, now we need to boil the milk and train the people that we have. And I think that maybe because after Prabhupada left, there was a wave of momentum that kept it going in a very, in terms of numbers, in terms of projects, and kind of a template kept on expanding. And then things started to happen that made it more difficult. And this is an extremely important thing that's going on here, in my view, that we need mature preachers to be able to actually do what Vaisesika Prabhu has been saying throughout, practically. And also, I've also thought like that and spoken like this. There's a breed of people coming up. I just saw a little headline somewhere, I can't remember where it was recently, where it said that there's the young adults, the persons who are becoming into adulthood right now, they're really in some ways wiser than other generations before because of the internet and the spreading of the culture and the mixing of culture and so on and so forth. And they're needing more mature wisdom. And when they get this Bhagavatam, that was my experience just before I came. Excuse me for beating, sounding like a broken record. But it's really happening, and there's a huge potential out there if we don't water it down. But at the same time, as he said, with realization, watering down isn't the same as saying it in a mature way according to time and circumstance and place. And if we learn this art, it's a wonderful time, and this is a, what's the word? The laboratory? It's the testing ground. It's something other, I'm looking for another word, but anyway, you get the idea, the basic idea. And I'm very enlivened by this and very committed to this. And I'm praying that I can do this for the rest of my life.
Just a couple of things. One is that I just, in my own reading, I just read the 5th, 6th, and first few chapters of the 7th cantos coming into Kartik, and then I found out that we're going to read from the 5th and 6th and 7th cantos. So I had kind of a mixed, of course I'm always thrilled, but I did have a little pinch that, oh no, I just read that, And then I corrected myself that doesn't make any sense. This would be a nice opportunity to see exactly what it's like to reread something right away. And so it's been really sweet, actually, because it's a different experience to read something so close on the heels of having read it before. And I just want to appreciate that. It's been eye-opening. And my second point relates to this, is that now in my readings, our readings, as I'm hearing and reading, I'm able to actually, and I'm trying to actually apply what Prabhupada is saying in my own life. as we're going, because less time is spent trying to piece together the philosophy, how this relates to that point, and who is this and that. It's more clear what is going on. It's very fresh in my mind. So when Prabhupada says these things about, this is the time factor and it's doing this to you and you have to give up material attachments and this, all these things he's saying in these purports that, you can think, oh, I've heard this a million times. I'm thinking, when this is Prabhupada giving me a direct class about how I'm going through my anartas here in the Dham, my dealings with the devotees, my overeating or whatever I may be going through. And it's been really sweet like that. It's been very, a different kind of levels unfolding. So I'm appreciating that.
Sadhu, sadhu. Oh, one here and then over the Patri.
I think Matt also had his hand up. I wanted to say that I've been appreciating and enjoying as it is every year, it's fun. I like it, when we kind of make fun of the idea that the books can't be edited. It's kind of a theme almost. It's like repeatedly coming up, probably at least 2 times a session, something like that. I like it. It's fun. But I was also just thinking that I've kind of maybe the validity. I just want to hear some feedback from this. I was thinking about the validity of people who are where they're coming from. That we've seen religion so many times, and Krishna talks about himself in Bhagavad Gita how religion is continuously degraded, and the Bibles are changed or this or that, and so people naturally have a fear of things being lost and degraded, and so it kind of makes sense that they're concerned about it, right? But at the same time, we can see how ridiculous it is when we look at it very closely. The kind of is almost like sentimental because they don't look into it deeply enough to really see. But at the same time, there is a sort of something genuine there, a genuine concern. I don't know if you want to respond to all to that.
Sure. I think you made a really good point. And most of the time, well, I read a book a while back called How to Win an Argument. In New York. Did you read it? Oh. No, it's small. In any case, one of the points he makes repeatedly in his book about debates, people generally don't know what they're arguing about. They'll start in an argument and somebody will say one thing, the other person will say the other thing, and they get heated about it, and they'll make all kinds of analogies and assumptions and things like that. So he said the most important thing, super rules throughout one of the super rules in the book is that always stop and then reassess what you're actually arguing about. So when you said it, validity, of course there's validity. It's a very important subject matter. It's valid, 100% valid. But when we discuss it, it has to be done intelligently, and we have to say, we have to look, what exactly are we talking about? Bandy about these analogies like adding more water, then pretty soon you don't have kind of actually look at the details together has a completely wrong meaning. It's not diluting anything. It's making it the flavor more lemony. And so what are we be lazy about it and misuse analogies to actually have to see what it is. And then ultimately, when it comes down to these issues, it has to do so much with, because when we're dealing with service and decisions that are being made from authority, and that has to be examined very carefully before everyone jumps in and claims to have equal. Have democracy when it comes to all these kinds issues that everybody has an equal right to speak. It's not true anywhere, but especially in our organization, everyone has a right to discuss it, but you have to do it intelligently and come up with very specific points. So, thank you.
I wrote this just this morning. I wrote this and sent it to my godbrother, who was there as the coordinator of the discussion on the Sabha about this topic. This was what I said: "Go, go, go, Maharaj." And if I may be so bold, in simple language, the question of which version more fully carries Srila Prabhupada's authority is founded upon whom he had the most faith. Rather than speculating on what Srila Prabhupada thinks about that, take his word for it. All his quotes expressing his faith in Jayadvaita Swami and even exalting him should be showcased. Srila Prabhupada founded his movement on love and trust, didn't he? Along with the factual differences that bring the 72 version closer to what he wanted, the constant reminder of the faith Srila Prabhupada had in him, his obvious loyalty and strictly following of spiritual principles all these years should be drilled into the conversation. Hare Krishna.
Having it be my first time to go through the Bhagavatam, when I first met Maharaj, we did first, second, and we did part of the third canto. Haven't read the fourth yet, and now fifth and sixth. And now it's kind of like that scene in The Matrix where they have the red pill and the blue pill, and you just can't. At first I thought I was just going to check it out, hearing, and now it's like I can't see the world the same way as it did before. And I feel like anyone who reads these books would almost have to develop sort of a psychosis in order to go back into material existence.
Thank you. That was profound. Patri Prabhu.
Thank you. I'm feeling very much glad to get opportunity. I really would like to appreciate, first of all, the input of His Holiness Tamal Krishna Maharaj and Bharati Maharaj and team to create this kind of airport at the base, at the lotus feet of Giriraj. Really, it's very long-term vision. Asit Krishna Maharaj, actually, we are very close friends with him, and I really appreciate his dedication to maintain this base for all of preachers who come, and it really has to be given credit to this vision, because it can be appreciated by those who really coming from the battlefield of preaching. And personally myself, when I'm coming here, it's like bunker, just come with senior devotees, and each and every shloka we actually studying. I'm feeling like we are doing arati to Krishna. It's like worshipping Krishna by other people. They offering ghee lamps and many other things, but we ganadipira bhashvataha yam svanubhavam kilam shruti adhyatma deepam. So this is Shukadeva Goswami we worshipping, because by this spiritual light of knowledge we are actually worshipping this Damodar month, especially with this Deepak. And it's also a very nice thing as a preachers as well as new people coming, they can learn from each other and charge battery to and from force. And there's some holes are there. I felt like Narada Muni, such a fearless preacher. He just, took all the children from Daksha and he fearlessly came back to give him blessings also. It's something like to slam somebody in the face, okay, and I want to do something to help you. Anyway, this very fearless preachers give me experience in guru-disciple, also the relationships, as well as I really want to appreciate the company of friends like Navina Prabhu and just other devotees. We can meet them sometimes only once in a year, and this is a hub, what is called a hub, when we can just meet together on the ground, and get more deeper, and to get battery charge even for short time. Tulaya malavina pina swargam na punarbhava bhagavat sangha sangasya. My deep gratitude and
Thank
appreciation.
You. And that brings us to the end of our reading today. Thank everyone who joined us online from various places around the world, and everyone who came and is staying here at the ashram or nearby just so they can be present for the readings. Thank you very much for your presence. We will take up the reading again tomorrow at 10:45, and we'll have a normal day. And the day after, which is the 3rd, some of us are going to Vrindavan because we got a couple classes to do over there, and including Bhagavatam class. What? 2. Daily double. It's a bus. Patri has a helicopter? Get a little bus. Gaur Premanand, more logistics? Okay. Gaur Premanande. Nitai Gaura Haribo, 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 Nitai Gaura Haribo, Nitai Gaura Haribo, Bo, Haribo, Nitai Gaura Haribo. Vanchakopadrisha Kripasnaveva Patitanam Pavanibhyo Vaishnavibhyo Namo Namaha Nantakoti Vaishnavindiki Jai. Dream Bhagavatam. See you tomorrow. Hare Krishna.